How are you feeling, darling?
Great. Sprightly. Hello, day 12. A nice 15-mile stretch to Marazion, so just beyond Penzance. There's quite a few conservation areas, passing through some RSPB reserves. Perfect walking weather today. Overcast, cooler, a bit breezy. Trying to follow a buzzard that is soaring just below us but is just out of sight. You can appreciate how effective their plumage colouring is in heathland and scrubland like this, because it's so hard to spot, and even against the cliffs they're really hard to spot as well. I know I've talked a lot about ponies so far and the benefits that their grazing has, but these ponies have been imported from Dartmoor, part of the National Trust's higher level environmental stewardship scheme, and they deal very, very well with rugged terrain and very exposed conditions. Counterintuitively, going uphill is actually loads easier than downhill, because going up you have much more opportunity to engage loads more leg and bum muscles to help drive you up the hills, whereas when you're going downhill, pressure's all on your knees, which in my case isn't my fave. Just head down, get on with it, and then you look up and then you're like, oh, I've come a long way, and I've got my mother's bottom to help guide me. Oh, my hair. Potential weather front coming in. Batten down the hatches, it's raining. Slightly overreacted on the rain front. Beautiful wildflowers. Lots of red campion, which is pink if you remember. So I'm a red campion today. Very bright one. Calm down. Just, I think, come out of a very difficult and long and frustrating section of the trail. The climate is a lot more temperate and humid, extremely overgrown. Our legs are totally cut up. Very interesting to see how it's changing. Up in that rock just there is a male stonechat, year-round resident in the UK, very commonly seen in heathland and gorseland, very often seen near the lizard. Now we're not too far from the lizard, very much similar size to a robin, but mainly their name, stonechat, as it suggests, their clicking noise sounds like two pebbles being chipped together and makes that very sort of metallic sound. We've just entered probably my first wooded area since the first day, which is a really welcome relief and a nice shady spot. Kemmel Crease Nature Reserve, owned and run by Cornwall Wildlife Trust, who I'm raising money for as I walk 300 miles. Hugely important haven for wildlife on a pretty much barren stretch of rocky coastline. It has really important coniferous and deciduous woodland, which provides roost sites and nesting sites for loads of important birds. And part of the Cornwall Wildlife Trust management of this site to fell trees which create sunlight and important habitats for butterflies and other invertebrates. And you can just hear how many birds are already enjoying this part of nature reserve. There's also an excellent food source for all kinds of wildlife. We are walking near a place called Bottoms. Hello, I live in Bottoms. But I'm just looking ahead to tomorrow, the lizard, all the way out there. So it's 23 miles tomorrow. I'm a little bit worried about how far away it looks, because it really, really does look really, really far away. It'll be fine. Fishing in Cornwall is of course one of its main sources of income. I'm in Newlyn now, and Newlyn is one of the biggest fishing ports in the whole of the UK. It's home to some of the largest fishing fleets in the country. There's an awful lot of activity going on here, but they must be literally loading fresh fish off the boats and straight into containers and trucks to be refrigerated and taken to market. As we're nearing more fishing towns, we get more gulls. Come across some herring gull nests just nesting on this reef here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 herring gull nests here and some chicks. Herring gulls have adapted really, really well to urban lifestyles, and they scavenge to get the majority of their food. So unlike kittiwakes who nest out at sea, herring gulls nest on land. Like blackback gulls, they can be identified by the red spot on the underside of their bill. Now, in a classic behavioural experiment, Tinbergen, who was a scientist, realised that this red spot was an essential visual cue for the chicks of the gull to encourage the parent to regurgitate food and ultimately aid their survival. He found that the chicks tap on the red spot on the herring gull's bill to encourage regurgitation. When I was little, I used to think that the red spot used to be ketchup on the seagull from stealing too many chips. So now you know it has an ultimately biological and survival function. So clearly in places like Newlyn and Penzance, it is all about fishing, fishing, fishing. And you can certainly smell it. I feel like I'm at Piccadilly Circus.